Hey folks, quill18 here, coming at you with another one of our little quickie tutorials here on the official Sid Meier Civilization VII YouTube channel. Do make sure you're subscribed here so you don't miss a thing. And if you want to watch me just play a bunch of Civ 7, come on over to youtube.com/quill18. I'll see you there. Today we are looking, finally, at an age transition. I have a save here from a game that I'd been live streaming. I am currently playing as Friedrich of the Abbasids at the end of the Exploration Age. But as you can see over here, we have reached 100% age progress, so we're about to switch into the modern age. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at this age progress screen, which is also where we can see our legacy paths. In any given age, there are going to be a number of different legacy paths which you can pursue, and there's going to be different criterias for pushing them forward. Here in the Exploration Age, for example, to progress down the Science Legacy path, what you want is ultimately at least 5 districts with 40 yield each. You do this by stacking lots of specialist bonuses, for example. Now, for every milestone that you achieve down Legacy Path, you're going to unlock certain things that are going to give you long-lasting rewards. Primarily, the big thing is you're going to unlock these legacy points, as well as options for how to spend those legacy points. This is something that happens during an age transition. Now, ideally, you would love to hit this maximum level in ideally all 4 levels so you can get the maximum number of rewards. In practice, that's often not going to be possible for a couple of different reasons. One, it might require splitting your attention more than is viable. But the other thing is that as you advance down these legacy paths and as you achieve these milestones, you can see it's a little faded out down here because it has been achieved already. But this is how we advance the age. This is how we progress the age. You can see +5, +10, and +20 as these various milestones are reached. And these can be advanced not just by you as the player, but possibly by the other civilizations that are in the game. The other way to advance these ages is if you research the future tech or future civics, which is at the end of the tech tree in every single age. This is repeatable, and not only does it give you wildcard attribute points, which is amazing, and a boost to starting technology in the next age, which is amazing, but it also advances the age progress. This could be potentially very important because, of course, as you get near the end of the age, one of the things you have to deal with is the end of age crisis. This is something that starts when the age is about, I believe, 70% progressed, and it gets worse over time, forcing you to slot in more crisis policy cards, which can be incredibly difficult to deal with. I actually got a very gentle age transition over here. There's one that's all like super massive unhappiness. Wow, is it difficult to deal with, but everyone is dealing with it at the same time. So if it's harder for you, good news is it's also harder for the AI. So now that we know how an age ends and how you would like to succeed at an individual age by completing some of these various challenges, what does it look like when you actually transition to the age? Well, let's see. We're going to do that by skipping to the next turn, at which point we should get a very fancy banner letting us know the age of exploration is over. And there we have it. Now, we get a bit of a summary of how we did, all of the legacy points that we unlocked. We also get some totals up over here, depending on how well we did. You can check your age ranking and how we compare to everyone else. Looks like Hatshepsut actually did better in culture than me, but I did win out on all the other categories, which is nice to see. We can view the legend report, and then we can progress into transitioning to the next age. And then we get to choose which civilization we're going to play as the next age. We're going to continue to play as our leader, which in this case is Friedrich, but we choose a new civilization. Now, some of these will have unlocked because of who we played. For example, I can choose Buganda because I played as the Abbasids. I can also choose Prussia because I played as Friedrich. Some of the others will have been unlocked through gameplay. For example, America, I didn't play as any of the civilizations or the leaders that would normally unlock America, but I took certain actions in this age that unlocked it. Now, this is actually very easy to miss, but before you pick your new civilization, you may want to make note of the button down in the bottom left corner over here to change mementos. This is actually something I'm really prone to forget, so I encourage you to make note. The mementos that you chose when you set up the game can be changed with every era. For example, Imago Mundi over here, which is amazing in the age of antiquity to get that extra sight on the scouts, I don't really tend to make use of very much in the future ages. So I think I would like to replace this with something else. And I can replace it with any bonus, but one of the things I might do is something like, you know what, I could use some more diplomatic attributes. So I'm going to go and slot that in. I'm going to leave Groma, which is going to give me an extra expansionist point, but I also want an extra diplomatic attribute. Hey, that sounds lovely. So I've changed my mementos over there. And then I'm going to choose, I'm not really going to pay attention to the bonuses for this particular video, but I'm going to choose Prussia because that's a historic choice for Friedrich. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and welcome to the modern age. What we're going to be prompted to do now is to choose our legacy. So if I click on this button in the bottom right corner, modern age has begun. Yes, thank you. And now we get to spend our legacies. So you can see here the points that I've earned, and I do get a wild card to spend, which is great. And here are the legacies I can choose from. Now, the way I do it, I don't normally look at this full list. What I like to do is filter it by a category. So if I filter it by science here, I can see exactly what I can spend my science rewards on. Now, I have 3 points of scientific legacies to spend. I do have the wild card as well, which I can use as absolutely anything. So in a theory, I could spend 4 points as science, but I might want to use this somewhere else. Now, which options are here will depend on what you have achieved with your legacy paths in the previous era. Now, you can choose some of these more than once. For example, I can click on the scientific attribute point, say a couple of times, and then I should get 2 on the next screen when I complete. Some of these are golden age options, for example. This is only available if you maximized one of the legacy paths in the previous era. I've got to say, most of these can be pretty good. For example, here, Enlightenment Golden Age makes it so that universities become Golden Age universities and retain their base yields, adjacency bonuses, and effects in the next age. So most of your buildings become obsolete as you advance from one age to another. This will keep some of those buildings relevant. Keeping universities, for example, is going to be amazing. So I'm happily going to spend 2 of my scientific attribute points on that. I'm very tempted to pick up the Lyceum. I feel like it's Greek, so it's probably a hard C kind of sound. +3 science per turn on each quarter. Quarter is a urban district that has both buildings in it. That's a lot of extra potential science added, which is nice. But this would require that I spend my wild card. Maybe I want to use it somewhere else. So let me look at my other options instead. If I take a look at culture, I've got quite a few options for my 2 points. Again, plus maybe this wild card. Deep Roots is a great reward for if you have stacked a lot of relics in the previous age. This would be 22 flat culture as a bonus. That's not too shabby. Or we can take some attribute points. You know what? I'll take some Deep Roots over here. That seems okay. Under military, I could get extra production, my settlements in distant lands. I think I would actually I'm going to go for, say, 2 expansionist points is what I feel like doing. And I didn't really do much in terms of economy, so I don't have very many points to spend, nor did I unlock any particularly cool legacy picks. So I'm just going to go for the economic attribute. And now I still have 1 scientific point and a wild card. I could do something like grab a couple more attribute points, but I think I like this Lyceum. I think that's going to be an excellent pick. So I'll spend my science point and the wild card on that and confirm those legacy points. And we can see now I have 5 attributes to spend across a variety of categories. I have 3 expansionist points waiting for me. Well, that's lovely. Let's make it so that new towns start off bigger and give me extra population of my current ones. Extra yields in towns sounds lovely. And then, ooh, I love the extra settlement limit. This seems like a winning move. I'm also a really big fan of this one, by the way, in the leader attributes. -1 settlement limit is real bad. +1 specialist limit is real good. Let me spend the rest of my points really quickly. Let's do some more resource capacity in towns. And for diplomatic, I was not very diplomatic on this run. Let's go for a little bit of extra happiness. Happiness is always very nice. There we go. And there is an example of an age transition from the exploration era to the modern era. And they're always going to feel a little bit different because what you get to pick is going to be very dependent on how you progress through those legacy paths, for example. Hope this helped explain what the age transition in Sid Meier's Civilization VII is like. Again, do make sure you subscribe to this, the official Civilization YouTube channel, so that you can find more helpful tips like this. And again, you can come watch me, quill18, over at youtube.com/quill18, where I'm just going to be playing video games, including a whole heckin' lot of Civilization VII. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.